All right, everybody, ding, ding, ding. We are back at it, and we are doing this again. This is Troy Vaughn, also known as Troy Amazing, your favorite part-time stripper, part-time megachurch pastor, but full-time dating commentator. And I am here with the illustrious, the bodacious, sexy. She is a queen of fetish. She is someone here in Atlanta you need to know and you need to be following. If you're not, shame on you. We have the awesome and electric Casey Carter. How are you today?
I'm fan-fucking-tastic.
I love it.
Fantastic.
Fan-fucking-tastic with the fan blowing right over you. I love it. I'm digging it. She is a ringside favorite. I've always enjoyed interviewing her, and today is no exception. We are diving into it again. So, Casey, first and foremost, how you been?
I've been good. Super hyper busy. I just moved, so the last time you and I interviewed, we were at my other house. This is my new house. I'm still unpacking, but...
the joys of moving.
Yes, but I also just came back from Exotica Miami, so still kind of coming down off of that, literally just this week.
And see, and that's why we're here, because because of my work schedule, moving, and everything else, the stressors of adulting, I was not able to make Miami. Been to Miami a handful of times, love it, but never been for Exotica. So, check this out really quickly. I only have one video on my channel with my own experience with Exotica. Exotica 2021 DC. Had a great time. You just got back from the Miami Exotica. Kind of break down, what were some of your experiences, what, some of the highlights. Did you meet anybody that you never met before, or some of the, celebrities? What are some of the big takeaways, or kind of break down your 2022 Exotica experience in Miami?
First of all, I love going to Exotica. And part of that is because, like in many industries, people of color are still a minority in the adult entertainment industry. So I love being there as representation. I love being there in the capacity of a powerful black woman. So that, when folks come, they see that there's someone there who's in a position of relevance, who's in some ways influencing also at Exotica, because one of the shows I participate in is for Exotica TV. So you see me every week on Exotica TV.
Looking all good and everything.
Listen, I do what I can. I show up for the assignment every week. But what's great about Exotica is the fact that we get to live our sexual experiences. We get to be free, and we get to see that there are other people who look like us, who want to do the kinky things that we do. So I've been going to Exotica since 2017, November of 2017 actually, and right from the very first experience, I fell in love with the environment, met so many people right out the gate. King Hef, Lady V and D, Gigi, quite a few people who are friends but are also influencers. And so, when we go to Exotica, we always get together. We always make sure that we pump each other up, that we energize each other, because when we go through that show floor, we deposit that energy into the building. We make sure that we weren't just there as an attendee. We want you to know we are here influencing in this space. We are here making a presence known that people of color are sexual. We are not to be sexualized, but we are sexual.
I'm glad you made that distinction, because I think, unfortunately, people conflate the two. To the detriment of our own people. You can be sexual without being objectified or over sexualized or hyper sexualized to the point where it's it's negative. I mean, we're sexual. I mean, that's how we all got here. We're all
Yes.
here because
Somebody has sex.
Yeah, a couple people got together and had sex.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But to be in a space and environment where it's celebrated, it's encouraged, it's advocated for. I've only attended one Exotica, but the room was electric. I got a chance to fan out to people I've only seen on film. even as far back 20 years ago in college, seeing people like, wow, now I'm actually shaking this person's hand.
Right.
When I've seen
what that hand was doing.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, it was an amazing experience, fun filled. People were great, and I had a great experience. So I certainly look forward to, and I saw you there.
Yes.
I saw you there, so I definitely look forward to seeing you again very soon at another Exotica. I appreciate having the opportunity to come there and do media with the starlet herself, Miss Tayomi.
Tayomi Morgan, yes.
I actually, I watch a show on Vice called Sex Sells, and she was a featured guest. I saw this last week. She was doing an interview with the host Wheezy, talking about Tayomi is the creator of the Cowgirl experience or
Cowgirl workout.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, the Cowgirl workout is techniques to teach women how to ride dick. And in Miami, I've caught glimpses of the Cowgirl workout, but in Miami, I sat through the workout, and just like we've talked about Lady V teaching how to do face sitting, you'd be surprised at how many people don't want to get on top. And for varying reasons, physically, it doesn't feel good, I can't do it for long. And what I appreciated about her Cowgirl workout is she teaches you how to sit, how to ride, and how to do it comfortably, how to find that position that works for you. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I like it because it's a position of power. I am in control of the pleasure. I'm in control of how it feels. I'm also in control of that dick.
Y'all are definitely in control.
I'm in control of how much stimulation it gets, right? So, yeah. So it was great watching her do this demonstration because the room literally filled up. It became standing room only to see her move through the various positions and to see people leaning in to learn more. And I think the other component, not just the sitting on the dick, but the other component of the Cowgirl workout is actual exercises that help stretch out your pelvic area, that help with comfortability on your knee joints and just the stamina for being in that position. So yeah, big shout outs to Ms. Tayomi Morgan.
Yes, she is the reason why I was able to come there in DC. Which, funny story about her, I had my own Humpty Hump Shock G moment because I didn't realize she was a twin.
Yeah,
I did not know that until I was actually there. I just remember seeing her, and I remember turning around and
Nurse Becky.
I was like, okay. Because I remember seeing him like, wow, that was a fast outfit change. I'm like, she changed her outfit, changed her wig like that. I just turned around and I remember approaching her like it was time. She was like, I was like, okay, like, oh, you're a twin.
Yeah.
And so I'm really like, oh, it's two of you. So yes, I enjoyed it tremendously, and I definitely look forward to going back. But again, like you mentioned, Lady V. The same way with Tayomi. I think a lot of people think, riding dick or face sitting or things you just jump into. You just do it. You just dive into it. Don't realize, no, there is certain technique. There are steps. There are things you can do that can help enhance the experience. for both,
both
parties.
Yeah.
And not hurt yourself, and not, because at the end of the day, if you're gonna do it the best you can, where you can get the most pleasure out of it, you and your partner. But I do agree with you 1,000%. When y'all on top, y'all control. Y'all, it's at that point, like, what can we do?
Nothing.
We're just there.
You're just there. You're along for the ride.
Yeah, look, it's a great ride. But no, big shout out again to Exotica. So, I mean, were there any people, like any performers or influencers you've never met before you got a chance to meet this go around?
I always meet someone new, whether they are a big name or someone who I've never heard of, which is always a treat for me.
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit, I meet a lot of people who I later find out are big in porn that I didn't know were big in porn. I just thought they were interesting and decided to stop and talk to them, and so I do. Mm-hmm. The most recent attendee, vendor, exhibitor that I've become a big fan of is TaylorMade.
Ooh. Yeah,
TaylorMade, and I wish I had the brochure this year, the program book for Miami. TaylorMade is on the cover of the program, but she is the single sponsor for the Ms. Exotica contest. So it happens at every Exotica. And why it's a big deal is because she's a woman of color. Mm. And she personally, individually, solo, like the boss bitch that she is sponsoring that contest. So she's got this giant booth, and she's got people who come through to see her, but more importantly, she's there supporting all of us. And she's been really, really great. Ella from Chatterbait introduced me to TaylorMade, mm-hmm. and anybody that Ella says talk to, I talk to. Because Ella, also a woman of color, if you've ever been to Exotica, which you have, Chatterbait is one of those giant booths. Chatterbait specifically has these plexiglass partitions and all these people who are camming simultaneously.
Okay. I remember that.
Right.
Yep.
Ella runs that whole section.
A woman of color.
Yes.
No, I remember. Yes, actually, I do remember that section because, in addition to the, exhibits and whatnot, I do remember that section when I was walking around. Just nothing but cams, just nothing but laptops and cameras and men and women just doing their thing. They had their own section, their own space, and I definitely remember that.
Yeah, so she is one of those people who's sort of behind the scenes, but I like to highlight her because she's a woman of color. She's running this booth. She's running that whole section. She is at Exotica. She is the point of contact for the Chatterbait booth. She's sponsoring parties. She's the shit, doing photo shoots.
She's the boss.
She's the boss. She's the boss. And she and I met at Exotica Miami last year. Mm. I got off the elevator. I saw this woman of color, and she had her hair wrapped in a cloth. And I was like, you don't see that much at Exotica. And she made her way over to me, started talking, and we have become thick as thieves since then. So, again, for people of color who think, that's a white place, it's only white people, you only ever see white people.
Definitely not just white folks.
I need you to know and hear me clearly when I say this. There are black people of color, because Ella is also from Puerto Rico. Mm. So you have people of color who are straight up influential in the forward-facing sense and influential in the behind-the-scenes sense. You talk about Tayomi and her Cowgirl writing class. Well, Tayomi is the person who organizes all the workshops.
Yes.
All the workshops. Not just the one that she does. Every workshop that is put on at Exotica is handpicked by Tayomi.
She's a busy woman.
Yes. Handpicked by Tayomi. And so it is definitely a place for us. When I walk the floor, I am often in awe of the people who say, I come because people like you are here.
Do they say they come because I'm guessing, you know what, I think that speaks for itself.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But but it affirms the reason I go. It affirms the reason that I not only go, but I make sure that you see me. We talked about, I showed you a picture of myself in Sika Black, and I had on white. Like, literally all of Miami, I wore white. The whole weekend.
You look very nice in white.
Thank you. The whole weekend I wore white, but I made sure that I stood out. I made sure that you saw me. You probably see me the first night and go, oh, that's a nice outfit. But then you realize I'm coming each night looking like that. Now you want to come over and talk to me. Now you want to know, okay, who is Casey Carter? Who is this
woman wearing white?
Yeah.
Every time I see she's wearing white.
Right. So, it's important that people of color are represented and are represented in a way that other people of color want to gravitate to you, want to know this is a safe space for me, that there are other people here like me.
Safe space is definitely the word, indeed. Which I think that is a very interesting segue into my next question. So, Exotica, you have Exotica Miami, you have Exotica Edison, New Jersey, which is coming up. You have Exotica DC, which is the one I attended. You have Exotica Chicago. Am I missing one?
Chicago, Miami, New Jersey, DC.
Right. So, and I think I briefly asked Naomi this via email a long time ago. Why not Exotica Atlanta?
Okay, I'm going to tell you. There is one major criteria. Space. Space. Now, those of us who live here in Atlanta know Georgia World Congress is filled with space. However, Georgia World Congress is also owned, I think it's by the city. They're not going to let that event in the building. So it requires at least 50,000 square feet. And the only places that will accept it are privately owned convention centers.
That they have an issue with the topic, or I figured. Well, because, when you look in the grand scheme of things, this is Atlanta, but still Atlanta is still Georgia, very conservative.
But this is everywhere. Like, every location is a privately owned convention center because they're not going to be held to some, rules and regulations about the sexuality. If you live here in the Atlanta area, you already know certain counties won't allow stores that sell sex toys.
True.
Right? Like, I live in Henry County. I got to go to the next county over to buy sex toys.
Hey, tripping.
Yeah. Strip clubs. There's also specific locations where strip clubs are located. So, from, in terms of the Atlanta area, there are rules that have to be followed. But in terms of everywhere that we go, it's easier to, if Troy owns this convention center, it's easier for the producers of Exotica to talk to Troy than to have to try to convince the local municipality, look, it's educational, we're here to serve the people. They don't want to hear that. They just see porn stars. That's all they see.
Yeah.
And they see sex.
They see sex, they see that's when you have the negativity, the generalization, the stereotyping, and because I wondered about that, because I remember when I was having that conversation with Tommy, I was like, I just presume Atlanta would be a prime location.
It is.
It would be a bomb location.
And I am looking far and wide to find space big enough that's privately owned that can serve this, this event. And they are not opposed to coming to Atlanta, but it's the space.
Right. Yeah, no, from what I saw, it would definitely require a lot of space. But it was a fun event, and yeah, the day I look on Instagram or the day I see something on social media, if it comes to Atlanta, That will be an exciting
It is,
day.
Atlanta will never be the same if Exotica ever made it here. It's the kind of event where it's kind of like Vegas, right? What happens at Exotica stays at Exotica, except for the fact that it shows up on social media. But it's, you know what I'm saying? It's that kind of event. You get to meet your favorite cam model, your favorite porn star, on the convention floor. But if you buy a VIP ticket, you also get to go to the after parties, and most of us go to the after parties.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, Casey, check this out. Before we wrap things up, you have any events coming up? Anything, you want people, obviously, we want people to follow you. We want people to find you on social media, subscribe to your channel. But anything else you got coming up? Any dates or any events you want to drop real quick?
So I will be at Kinked Up ATL, which is going to be the first weekend of August, that Thursday through Saturday. I apologize to not have the dates committed to memory. I'll be there. I'm not doing any demos, but I will be there to basically help other folks learn a few things.
That you said that's the first weekend of
August? Yeah, it's the Thursday through Saturday, whatever that first weekend is, that Thursday to that Saturday.
Saturday's my birthday.
Ah.
So hopefully reach out, wink wink to Gigi Robinson. Maybe she will let me slide through.
Yes.
And, breaking my birthday at Kinked Up ATL.
In September, Exotica will be hosting their very first 420 event. Mm-hmm. I'm super excited. I will be there for that.
Ringside is a very 420 friendly channel, FYI.
They have, and I don't remember whether or not they announced it, but they have a very special guest coming. Mm-hmm. I don't remember if they announced it yet, so I don't want to say just yet, but when you find out who it is, it is very much that makes sense. And again, that is, I want to say it's the 16th through the 18th of September. Mm-hmm. And then Exotica, New Jersey will be in October. That is
Jersey,
whatever the third weekend of October is. Whatever the third weekend in October is. And then DC, the one you went to. Yep. That's the first weekend of December. So I will be at all of those. Okay. And there's some talk. Gigi and I are talking about possibly collaborating on a fetish ball, but we'll see.
Make that happen. It starts with talking. I get that. But from talking, I want to see a fetish ball. Fetish ball Atlanta.
Yeah, it would be in December.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Great way to
end your year.
The holidays.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
So, for the people out there, if they want to get a hold of Casey Carter,
you can't get a hold of me.
Can't get a hold of this one.
But if you wanted to follow me,
if they want to at least look and view and gaze, how can they follow you?
Okay, so on Instagram, I am the Casey Carter Experience. That is the Casey Carter Experience. I am also CaseyatNight on Instagram. On Twitter, I am Reed, R-E-A-D, Casey Carter. I am also CaseyatNight on Twitter. On Facebook, I'm Casey Carter, but most of what I do on Instagram is push to Facebook. I'm not as active there. And on YouTube, CaseyatNight, where you can find all my shows. And then my website, casey-carter.com.
That's what I'm talking about. Everybody out there, and this information will be in the description, so you can just click it and take you directly to Casey. You can find her. Make sure you hit that bell, receive all notifications, and give this video a huge, big old like. If you're out there in Facebook realm, make sure you type in Ringside LLC in the search bar. Find your way to our private Facebook community. Request to join, and either myself or one of the admins will admit you.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Before I forget, I just want to shout out the cigar This is a Maduro from Ancestry Cigars LLC. I am a brand ambassador. It is owned by a woman of color out of Chicago. I just want to give her a shout out because I'm like practically done. And
shout it out one more time. What kind of cigar it is? And
it is a Maduro.
A
Maduro, and the company is called Ancestry Cigars LLC. You can find them on Instagram at Ancestry LLC, and yeah, some good stuff.
Text me the information. I'll make sure I include it in the description.
Thank you very much.
Everybody, if you're watching, make sure just go to the description. I make it very easy for everybody. You don't have to struggle. Just click, and you will find Casey. Thank you so much again. You have always been an honored guest and interviewee. I always have a great time, and I always. Oh, you know what? Really quickly before we forget.
Yes.
I just have to ask because you taught me. I credit you with teaching me bukkake, the word bukkake, and that let me know that there was still a lot that I don't know. A lot of things I like. A lot of things I may be familiar with as far as watching porn, but may not know the terminology. Would you happen to know anything else or any other terms out there that may come to mind based on things we talked about? Because again, that interview was groundbreaking for me. It was definitely groundbreaking, and it definitely was like, you know.
I mean, dude, there's so many things. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything. I mean,
you know what? Check this out. This is gonna be the next video. I'm prepared. I just wanted to ask real quick. No,
because I can come with a list of things, and we can dive deep into some stuff.
Y'all hear that? That's the next video. We're gonna run down that list. I just thought about that because I was like, you know what? There's still some things. If I learned that word, I'm pretty sure other people probably learn as well. And now we know. Now there's a name. There is, no matter what you're into, there is a name for it.
Oh my God, yes. You'd be surprised at the fact that there is a name for all your kinks.
Indeed. I'm trying to run through it. Indeed. Casey Carter, always a pleasure. Again, this is Ringside Corner Confession, and we are out. Peace.